Hello everyone, welcome back to Classic Automotive Services. Right, this week we have been predominantly doing the Aporto Red TR8. We did sort the MGB out, which we showed last week. It's actually still here outside. Unfortunately, we didn't get any footage of it as the customer was actually here while we're doing it. He wanted to sort of come and have a look at it and do a bit of cleaning up work on it, which is fine. It saved me having to do it. So we managed to get it in on the ramp, which was quite a struggle because the car was completely seized solid. The brakes were all completely seized. And initially we got the wheels freed off so that it would roll. After looking at the brakes, the customer decided that he didn't want to do the brakes. That was the initial plan. We were going to just get the car so it would run and move under its own power. But the whole system needed replacing, so it would have needed absolutely everything on the hydraulics. Same with the clutch. We don't know if the clutch was actually seized to the flywheel. It's a good possibility it is. So at that point, he said we'll get it running, and we then actually run it on the lift with the wheels off the ground, and just check the gearbox. We check the gears. There's no noises from the gearbox. Obviously, we can't check if it's crunching or not because we haven't got a clutch. But we managed to start it in each gear and run the gearbox. Make sure there's no noises from the back axle and the gearbox, and the overdrive worked. It clicked in and out absolutely fine. So that's as far as we were going to take that. So we got that back outside. So waiting for him to come and collect it. And he's now got it up for sale. So after that, we decided we're going to get on with the Aporto Red TR8. Now, we got the engine out last week. We showed that. That's still sat there, the carbureted engine, with the automatic gearbox, subframe, and all the bracketry for the aircon and everything sat there. Then I got the new engine, the fuel-injected engine, up on the stand and started going through it a little bit. Not doing anything major on it. Just gasket, seals, timing chain, things like that. So I've got a couple of videos of doing the engine bits and bobs in the week. So we'll put them in now and then we'll carry on. Right, here we've got the engine for the Aporto Red TR8. This is the fuel injected engine that's going into it anyway. So we've got the other one out over there, as you were saying in the last video. So we can swap all the parts on it. But before this engine goes into the car, we are going to do gasket seals, timing chain, and etc. And give it a bit of a birthday. We're going to drop the sump off, wash the sump out, and make it so it's a good engine again. So we did have this engine dry ice blasted when we done the underneath of the Lotus and a couple of other engines that we had. So it has actually come up quite well. As you can see, it's quite clean. If the camera will pick it up, change the lighting on. Around this side, it is quite clean externally. But I've removed the plenum so that we can do rocker cover gaskets, because I've noticed they are weeping. After the dry ice blasting, it cleaned it, but we have still got a bit of oil traces coming out of the rocker cover gaskets, and this engine was absolutely caked in oil and grease and grime. Probably a lot of it was coming from the rocker covers, and then just running down the whole engine and coating it. So I mean, the dry ice blasting, it's a good process. It's still quite in its early stages. At the moment, it is an expensive process, but obviously it can only get to certain things and do a certain amount. I mean, now I've got the plan and everything off. You can see the amount of thick grime build up in here. If I just grab something, I'll scrape it out. Obviously the plenum sat on here, so it won't get into areas like this. There's a lot in here. It's just, this is what the whole engine was like, and all around here where the plenum was sat, all in here. You can't even see that fixing in there. So it is good, but it has its limitations. And like I said, it's quite a costly process. Again, in here, obviously you've got the distributor sits here, and all the water hose was everything was on it. You can see the level of grime in here again. It's thick. This is what the whole engine was like, and it was a lot worse in places as well. But now I've got the plenum and everything off. I've removed the wiring loom, as I was going to leave the wiring loom on it and use the loom that was on the engine, but the loom that we got with the car is in far better condition, so I'm going to check all the wires continuity and everything, and it should be absolutely fine. It's far nicer condition. But we've got quite old fuel hoses, they're cracking. So the owner is actually going to be here on Thursday, so I'm going to talk to him about how far he wants to go with it. So yeah, all the fuel hoses, I mean, that one is absolutely rock solid. None of them bend. I mean, that is just solid. So they're all very old, so they need replacing. So I've stripped it down as far as I'm going to go with it just at the moment, until the owner comes and sees it. I've got plenty to get on with the front timing cover and everything. But I've got the front timing cover off to have a look, see what time chain setup it got in there, as we're going to do a chain on it anyway. And this one, as you can see, look how slack it is. It's actually hanging off the gear there. It was due to let go at any point. It is just ridiculously slack. You can see it trying to jump off the cam wheel. And it's actually got, a reason I wanted to strip it down is to see if it had been done before and had the steel gear upgrade. And it hasn't. It's still got the original nylon plasticky type gear in it. I personally really don't like these gears. If I grab my light, I'll show you why. Where'd I put it? There it is. These gears have a habit of failing. They have a habit of breaking up and failing. And this one is about to give up as well. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but just, if I get the light right, just there in front of my finger, the camera's probably not going to pick it up. It's going to struggle. There is a crack in the plastic. And there's another one just starting there. So that gear is literally about to fall apart. And, well, if that happens, that's goodbye engine. That's valves into pistons, and being a V8 there's a lot of valves. It's catastrophic. So I'm going to look for a steel upgrade kit for it, as the only ones of these that I would trust is a genuine new old stock genuine one. Well, not in new old stock, you can still get genuine ones. I wouldn't want a new old stock because they do degrade. You can still get genuine ones for it, but they're a lot of money. The amount of money they are compared to putting a steel upgrade kit in it, they're 3 times more. And that's just for the gear. That's not for the chain as well. So yeah, we put the steel upgrade kit in it, I think. I'll just obviously confirm it with the owner when I speak to him. But looking inside the waterways, they're absolutely spotless. Oh, and the light's not doing it justice. Yep. So they're no sludge, no brown rust. They're spotlessly clean, which is brilliant. So it should be a very good engine. Just needs a bit of a going over and make it such a happy little engine again. So yeah, just general sort of maintenance before it goes in, really. So that is where we're up to with the engine. So obviously it's got the early system on it. The ports in there, they're quite black. That's the joys of running an EGR on them. Again, not a fan of that. Doesn't really need it, especially in this country. It hasn't got to meet the American emission laws in this country. So there's the EGR valve. And there's a pipe goes up to the bottom of the plenum, and well, that's what it says. It recirculates the exhaust gases. So probably worth blanking it off. Leave it on there to make it look aesthetically correct, and I'll connect it up. Whether it even works or not, don't know. But yeah, probably put a little blank on the end of the plenum so it doesn't have to run it. All that's going to do is coke up the valves, coke up the inlet system, and it'll run a lot better without it. So that's where we're up to with it. So we'll update you on the engine at the weekend with in the main video, and we'll go from there. Right, we're working our way through the fuel injected engine for the red TR8, and we've now got the inlet manifold and everything off of it, injection system off, as when the owner came up yesterday. We spoke to him, and basically it needs the injection system going through a little bit, needs the fuel hose changing, injectors cleaning out. So we've ordered the kit for the injectors now. The rocker cover gaskets were leaking quite badly, so I pulled the rocker covers off and as well, and as you can see, it's quite badly coked up, which it's not the worst I've ever seen, but it's still not great. So I have now already done this side, so you can see massive difference. Can get both sides at the same time. There we are. Massive difference. So I've removed the rocker shaft, washed the head down, as we're removing the sump anyway, so anything that does go down to the sump isn't going to be too much of an issue. That's why the sump's still on at the moment, so it's just catching everything. So it'll basically, any stuff that when we wash this down in here, the head down, anything that's in here will just run into the valley and then into the sump, because it's got big drains in there. Plus when we take this valley pan gasket off, I'll wash the valley out as well. Just wash it all down into the sump, and then obviously remove the sump, clean the sump out. So yeah, it's looking a lot better in here now. It's not 100%. You never get it 100% unless you remove the heads and strip them and actually sort of acid bath them, that sort of thing. So the rockers themselves are cleaned up quite well. On these, if you grab hold of when you've got the shaft off, if you grab hold of the rocker, you can slide it back and compress this spring, and you can see the wear on the shaft. These are prone for wear in the shafts, and the wear is always on the bottom where the rocker is pushing up onto it from the camshaft. And these shafts, well, this side is actually pretty good. Tiniest bit of wear, nothing drastic, nothing to the point where I'd say you need to replace the shaft. You can barely feel it. So we've re-lubricated all the shaft after we washed them down and washed them out, made sure they're all clear, as the shaft on these are hollow, so it squirts oil up one of these posts. I think it's either this one or this one, and it pressurizes the shaft and pushes oil out on the rockers. So it's important that they're clear, otherwise you do get the drastic wear in the shaft, and that's why I'm cleaning this down, as if we don't, it's going to wear it rapidly, because it will be blocked up, i.e. like this side. So, and what causes all of this build up in here like this, quite frankly, it's poor maintenance and lack of oil changes. That's what causes all of that. So we'll carry on and get it sorted. Right, as you saw in the video, the timing chain was very slack. Well, it still is. I haven't changed it yet. I'm waiting for the new one to arrive. We've now cleaned up all the top end of the engine, as you would have seen. When we took the rocker covers off, they were quite heavily sludged up inside. The rocker assembly was all quite heavily sludged up, and so the top of the heads. So that's all done now. We've cleaned and blasted the rocker covers. Obviously, we removed the breather filter first. We flushed that out, and yeah, we've cleaned and painted we blasted them, cleaned them up, and painted them. they're black for a reason. Before anyone starts commenting, we'll go into that in a minute. And we also washed out the valley, had a look at the camshaft. That looks very, very good. Tiniest bit sort of discoloration of oil on it, but other than that, it's not got any signs of wear or anything like that. So we washed the valley down, and we've now got the new valley pan gasket fitted. And I've now also sorted out one of the exhaust manifolds. If we look at the exhaust manifold, we've got this one blasted, changed the studs. We've got the old studs out and replaced them, and that one's fitted. There's a comparison before and after. This is the one for the other side. So that's how it was looking, very manky and horrible. And we've got sheared studs. So it's things like these sheared studs which can add hours and hours to a job. But it's one of them things, they need to be done, otherwise you can't run your exhaust system. So we're now in the process of obviously got to get that manifold cleaned up and refitted. I'm waiting for the new timing chain assembly to arrive. I've ordered, after speaking to the customer on Thursday when he arrived, we agreed, yeah, we're going to change the gears, mainly because that one has got cracks in it anyway. And I've actually found a all steel gear set with timing chain kit. It's a Cloy's set, so good make. Cloy's, I believe, are American. Very good make. That's what we actually put into the prototype engine. So that's what's going to be going in it. I've got that on order. I've got all the gaskets and seals for it now. I've got the injector kit, which we'll have a look at in a second as well. As all the injector pipes, they're all hard and knackered. And we've also managed, with some help from the owner, as he's probably the leading TR8, TR7 and 8 authority in the world. He managed to cross-reference some part numbers and sent me a part number, and I managed to find O2 sensors for the exhausts, which is brilliant. So we should be able to get it running at its best. As without the O2 sensors, yes, this system will run, but it will run in what they call closed loop. The ECU will just do what it's programmed to do. There's a set sort of program. It will just do that. The O2 sensors will refine the fuel mixture so that it runs at its possible best. So again, depending on if you're, say, at altitude, the air's thinner. If you're at sea level, the air's more dense. Air temperature, all these things can have a massive impact on how the engine will run. And without the O2 sensors on it or connected, some days it may run okay, but then in different conditions it might not run right. So yeah, we've managed to sort that, which is brilliant. The exhaust system, that's not an issue to fit the O2 sensors, as you can't get an exhaust system for these anymore, which takes O2 sensors. I'm not surprised, as these fuel injected cars are so rare. So that's not an issue. We can buy the bosses, put the hole in the downpipes, and weld the bosses on in the correct place. Can't do that until the engine's back in the car. So we can get the O2 sensors in the correct place and make sure that they're not fouling or hitting anything. So that's something we'll do when the engine's back in the car. So yeah, we're making great progress with this one. Now, why are the rocker covers black and not grey? Well, when we done the prototype engine for EWK, when we stripped the fuel injection system down, because there was no real paint traces left on the external parts of it, as it was so white and powdery, and there was not really a lot left. Nothing that you could really determine anyway. When we stripped it down, underneath, say, for example, the plenum and the underside of the manifold, we found black. So we did that one black because we were 100% it should be black, as it was quite apparent it had never been apart, and the parts that we were taking off had never been off. And yeah, we could see there was no other traces of paint on it other than the black. Now, production cars, well, I say production cars, the TR8 was never had an official production line, but for simplicity's sake, I'll say for production cars, the injection system and the rocker covers were grey. Now, this isn't a production car. It's a very, very late car, and it's also a special ordered car. It was special ordered for the big boss in America, and it was put together by the special tuning development team, same as EWK. That was also put together by the special tuning development team. EWK was black, and well, obviously we haven't got the original engine for this. We'll say why in a minute, but we do have the original fuel injection system, which is over here. I'm going to lift it. In all these parts, the original fuel injection system is black, which was a bit of a surprise when we opened it all up. There's no other paint traces on it, no grey, no nothing. So we're going to put it back to black. As again, after speaking to the owner, we can't 100% prove it, but we're fairly confident that because these cars were built by the special tuning development team, that they left there with the injection system and the rocker covers in black. So that's the theory that we're going on. As well, we've got two cars here now built by them, and yeah, they're black. So we've got nothing to disprove it, other than the production cars were grey. But so yeah, we're sticking with the black. We could be wrong, but don't think we are, and neither does the owner. So that's why we've done them black. Now, I also have found out what happened to the original engine, as this car, if we turn around and look at it, this car has only got 451 miles on it from new. And yes, it is genuine mileage. So it's a museum time capsule piece. That is probably the lowest mileage car you're ever going to find. And it's really nice working on it. Underneath, it's perfect. Everything's as it should be, other than it lost its engine. And that was due to the original owner who ordered this car. He wasn't happy with the ratios in the automatic gearbox. So he had some fancy gearbox put into it when it was over in America. And unfortunately, the conversion went wrong. And it destroyed the gearbox and it destroyed the engine. I believe, I don't know because obviously I haven't seen it, but what I've been told is the clearance between the gearbox and the engine wasn't right. So I'd believe that maybe it was the torque converter was too tight or something along them lines. There's no end float or something, or the end float was too large, something along them lines, and it destroyed the engine and the gearbox. So we're now putting it back to as original as possible. We're not doing it so it's fully restored concourse or anything like that, because the car is so nice. So we're trying to make the engine match the car, as in condition wise, so it doesn't look like it's been done. Just looks to the same level, and make it so it looks original with the original fuel, with the injection system on it, so that it's as it should be. So that's where we're up to with it, and it's a very rare car. And when the owner come up on Thursday, found out a bit more history about it, and it was very, very interesting. So we've got the front timing cover over here. Obviously removed that to do the timing chain. Took the oil pump apart just to check it, regasket it, etc. So I've ordered a complete subset, as it was actually cheaper to order a complete engine conversion set than it was to order the gaskets net individually. Joys of that as well is the subset comes with all the all the copper washers for the oil pump, which is brilliant. We can change all them. So there's no wear on any of the oil pump or anything like that. It's all like brand new. Again, on the water pump, got some sheared fixings. That one was already sheared when I started taking it apart. I managed to get that one out, and these two sheared. The rest of them came undone. So got a couple of sheared fixings to get out of it, which is obviously always fun in itself. So it's again little things like that which add a lot of time to the job. Unfortunately, it's one of them things. It's why you can never give a quote to a job on a classic car. We charge £35 an hour, and it's the only real fair way of sort of being able to do the work. As well, if I do a quote and that happens, well, I'm stuck doing the job with X amount of hours extra to put it right. So yeah, we that's the things with classic cars. You can't accurately quote things. Not extensive work anyway. Odds and ends you can, services and things like that. But other than that, you can't really quote major work. We've got the fuel injection rebuild kit as well. It's a good kit. All of the pipes and rubbers are ethanol rated. It comes with new caps for the injectors. It comes with the, I can't remember what they're called now. Ferrules? I think they call them ferrules. For the pipes, as you will end up destroying them, getting the old ones off, getting the old pipework off. It comes, manifold seals, obviously pipes, and it even comes with the new little filter baskets for inside the injector, as they're probably going to be all sludged up. And eagle-eyed people amongst you may notice that there is more than 8 there. That's because there's 12. That's because it actually fits another car, but I'm not going to say which one it is, as that's my little secret to get in the kit. But I think other than that, I can't think of anything else we've got this week. Obviously, next week we're going to press on, try and get this engine done once the time and chain kit arrives. We've still got then drop the sump, wash the sump out, gasket that, and put it back together. And once get the injection system sorted out, reassembled, we should be end of next week, very, very close to either putting the engine in the car or have it in, as long as it all goes to plan, which it has done so far. It's been a really good engine. Makes a change to starting pulling the engine apart, and there's this wrong, there's that wrong, and you just get deeper and deeper and deeper into it before you've done a full build. But that one, yeah, it seems a very, very good engine. So obviously we'll know more when we run it. We were sold it as a good running engine. Yes, it was on the verge of going bang due to lack of maintenance, or not enough oil changes, and the timing chain. But it's been caught just in time. But on that note, we will, I think, leave it there. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.